A mouse hole with a for sale sign. An old wooden board. The absorbent wood seems to have absorbed all of the dog urine in the vicinity. Ricky presents some fancy examples of dog hairstyles here. Strangely surreal images of dogs. A typical sink like any hairdresser uses for washing hair. Good! A pair of sharp scissors in your pocket. What could possibly go wrong? A winner's podium, presumably for the winners of Ricky's Cat Beauty Contest, Ricky's Finest. A wheel for hamsters. Good, I'm sure I'll find another hamster who will be happy about it. Small change for the cleaning lady. Not that a cleaning lady ever entered this area of Ricky's salons. As this restroom has never been visited by a cleaner, I don't have to feel guilty. Ugh, nothing in the world would make me voluntarily use this toilet. The dirty toilet could be straight out of a horror movie. Attack of the Sewage Alligators, Part 3. I can visually see the alligators crawling up the sewage pipes and dragging the unsuspecting user of the toilet into the depths. The sink must be leaking, or one of Ricky's customers has been playing water games here. I know this guy from somewhere. It also lives in the bathroom mirror in my apartment. Kind of creepy. No, I'm not a cleaner in charge here. What for? The toilet's already in a condition that makes any attempt at cleaning pointless. The only thing that helps here would be a flamethrower. A traffic camera. It's aimed at the street right in front of Ricky's pet salon. Maybe the camera recorded something that could help me find Mr. Fumbleclaw. I should ask Ricky about that. A state-of-the-art trash can. May I interrupt you for a moment?
Why, sure. Need some tips regarding your unkempt hair? I definitely see great potential there, but the missing hand of a professional is clearly visible.
My hair? No. I'd like... So, what happened?
Well, I had almost completed the
Then what?
and then
Well,
no, of course not. Feel free to look around everywhere. It is
out. That's next to a...
And after that, I will rejoin the search for Mr. And if you...
Thank you.
Yes.
Can you think of anything?
Well,
Them
and
well,
no,
ouch! That
oh, you would
next to.
it is.
Can you possibly tell me something about the traffic camera up there? Could it have recorded something?
That's honestly a good question. The camera was installed up there a while ago to keep an eye on the traffic offenders of this street. For some reason, the area has gradually evolved into a paradise for aspiring Formula One racers. And when crossing the street, it has become a pure gamble whether you will reach the other side of the street alive before the start of the next race.
Sounds like a dangerous place to be.
You have no idea. This used to be such a quiet neighborhood here. And I pray that the runaway Mr. Fumbleclaw did not attempt to cross the street.
That would be bad indeed, but let's think positively. Surely there's a very simple explanation for his disappearance. I'd still like to know what was going on outside your salon at the time of the disappearance.
You think the camera might have recorded something important?
Yeah, that would be logical. If you've already thoroughly searched your salon, it's not impossible that the cat escaped through the open door. Perhaps he's disappeared into one of the surrounding back alleys and is now waiting to be rescued. Do you really have no idea what the recordings could tell me? Have you possibly been busy here in the camera area for the last few days?
Oh no, the camera would probably just show me standing here maintaining my nicotine level.
Alright, in any case, I should take a look at the camera's recordings.
That could be difficult. The camera belongs to the city and is therefore part of the city's traffic monitoring network. Therefore, the records are certainly archived in the nearby police station. You would have to break into the probably best secured building in the vicinity, sneak past the best trained police officers in town, outsmart the most advanced surveillance system in the immediate vicinity, and then make a copy of the surveillance tapes without being noticed.
You say that almost as if it were a major problem. I am quite creative in solving such problems, you must know. At the end of the day, this is about rescuing a helpless cat. I'm happy to take any risk for that.
I think that's great, really, and I really hope that your research will be successful. You will have plenty of time to think about it in the prison cell.
But, what did I just tell you? Think positively.
Sorry, you're right, of course. I apologize for my cynicism. Nicotine withdrawal is getting to me. I wish you good luck with your research. And please, definitely let me know if you find out anything. Yes.
I have a few.
Sure.
How did you get the idea to create a beauty contest for cats?
Well, isn't that obvious? There is simply no better advertisement for my salon than a regionally recognized competition that bears my name. Day after day, I do the hair of the most beautiful cats of the upper 10,000. And for the majority of my well-heeled clientele, their animals are far more than just hairy family members at most. These cats are, first of all, one thing: beautiful status symbols. And the greatest misfortune that could happen to these gentlemen is when the neighbor's kitty gets a higher score at Ricky's finest than their own.
You mean in the end it's mainly you who benefits from this eternal competition?
Of course! Cat owners like Lady Longbottom or Lady Beaufort would pay any price to see their beautiful creatures on the winner's podium.
And I guess they do just that?
Oh yes, but don't think that's easy money. It's the constant development of new hairstyles for, say, the Scottish Fold or the Norwegian Forest Cat that challenges my creativity every year. And newfangled pedigreed cats like the Sphinx are very special challenges.
Sphinx? You mean the breed without hair? What is there to do here?
I told you, it's a real challenge. With breeds like the Sphinx, it's not so much a perfect hairstyle that counts, but much more a perfect decoration. Like, for example, a self-knitted little blue dress made of the finest cashmere wool. Or just a blue bow of finest silk, which screams to the viewer, "Yes, I am naked, but I am also beautiful."
So you think every cat is a work of art in its own right, regardless of breed or hair?
You got it. And my job as an artist is to present this work of art in the best possible way.
And to sell it the best possible way.
Yes, of course. The best works by Vincent van Gogh or Pablo Picasso were commissioned works. But were they any less grandiose because of that?
I can't judge that. I actually only read the Spider-Man comics, but they're also based on a certain financial idea.
Well, there you go. Art and commerce don't have to get in each other's way. And you've never seen a cat's satisfied smile after standing atop the winner's podium of Ricky's finest.
You mean the satisfied smile of their owners?
No. I do mean the cat's smile.
Can cats smile?
Of course. After winning Ricky's finest, they are all smiles. They can't help it.
Would you also do my cat Jimmy's hair? And would he have any chance of winning? He is just a normal house cat, you must know, born in the cowshed as one of 12 siblings.
Race and origin do not play a role. Every cat is a potential winner at Ricky's finest. And of course, I would be happy to give your Jimmy the extravagance you surely want for him.
Great!
After paying the Ricky's Finest participation fee of £25,000. And for just another £15,000, I guarantee a place on the winner's podium. Only via prepayment. PayPal is unfortunately not accepted.
Oh, I'm afraid I can't afford that.
Doesn't matter. I'll just save you a place on the list of participants for next year.
That's very nice of you.
For only £15,000. Prepayment only, no PayPal. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Do you have some hairstyling tips for people too?
You mean for people like you?
Yes?
And for hair like yours?
Yes?
Do you want an honest opinion? Or rather a nice opinion?
Couldn't you do both?
I am afraid not. Your hair does not even show a useful basic structure. Obviously you wash it daily with the cheapest dishwashing detergent you could find. The cut of your hairstyle obviously comes from a cheap video game template. Your dyed hair can see its wrong shade at a distance of 6 miles.
I am really blonde.
The shiny, greasy substance is evidence of a long internship at Burger King.
That was only 3 months during semester break 4 years ago.
The dandruff on your shoulders is evidence that the heating in your apartment is set way too hot.
I just happen to get cold easily.
And the obvious hair loss means you'll probably be as bald as Bruce Willis by 40. So, now those were the nice points. Are you ready for the messy side of my analyses?
You mean that was the nicest thing you could think of about my hair?
I'm afraid so. And as my professor used to say during the online continuing education course, from mortician to star hairdresser in 14 days, always start a customer conversation with a few nice words first.
Oops, that reminds me. I still have this appointment.
Oh, what a pity. I would have a few honest but extremely constructive suggestions for fashionable full hair wigs for you.
I'll come back to it next time.
All right, you know where to find me. Always ready to advise even two-legged hairy emergencies like you.
That's all for now.
Just come back if you need some more advice regarding your unkempt hair.
A human outline made of chalk. Presumably children have played here with chalk. Yikes! My days as a graffiti artist are actually long gone, but I still like the aroma of paint thinner in the morning. The tightly locked window belongs to the police station. The window belongs to the police station. I think the window's made out of bulletproof glass. If I could see through it, I could probably see the inside of the top floor of the police station. Unfortunately, I'll never get up there. I would love to know what secrets lurk behind this window. The sun's reflected in the bulletproof glass. A classic telephone booth. This is the entrance to the police station. a half-full box of delicious donuts. Through the window I can see the street in front of the police station. I can smell the stinky trash from the outside all the way over here. Yuck! I wouldn't want to encounter that in the dark. His eyes radiate absolute evil. His eyes radiate absolute evil. The typical criminal visage. His eyes radiate absolute evil. With her face, it was clear she'd end up behind bars. The typical criminal visage. Hopefully they'll catch him soon. Ooh, didn't I meet him on the bus yesterday? Thank God I'm still alive. With his face, small-time crook was probably at the top of the list when choosing a career. Wonder what he did in detail. A textbook criminal visage. Her mother must be proud of her. This is apparently a service directive. To all employees of this precinct, 0000 or 1234 are not secure passwords. All door code accesses were reset to our officers' birth dates. Every civil servant must memorize his birthday by heart. And speaking of birthdays, the festivities for Constable Smith's birthday this month won't start until after hours this year, and not a minute earlier. And all officers are expected to return their service weapons to the armory before the festivities begin this year. Casino Royale by Ian Fleming. I think Constable Smith's birthday's coming up. He drew a small donut with a candle in the 12th box, but no idea which month the calendar page shows. Unfortunately, I don't know Japanese. Good day, I'd like to report a missing cat.
Good day. Excuse me, a missing cat? This is a police department, not an animal shelter.
Yes, but it is a real emergency. Lord Fumbleclaw's been missing for several days and his family are very worried.
What? A real lord? Then what's all this nonsense about the cat? Inspector Craddock is responsible for noble missing persons cases. However, like me, he is currently very busy and has little time for new cases.
Is the inspector available now? Sounds like he's the right person to talk to about Lord Fumbleclaw's case. I have some clues from the cat's hairdresser that I would like to discuss with the inspector.
Hairdresser? And a cat again? My good boy, you're not under the influence of any substances by any chance? I'm sure I still have a youth education sheet of why drugs are evil lying around here somewhere.
No, I don't do drugs. Lord Fumbleclaw is the cat's name. Can I speak to the inspector now, please?
So now we're back to the cat. I already said that the inspector hardly has time for new cases at the moment. And as sorry as I am, with your blue-blooded animal, missing cats are not really a high priority.
Couldn't I at least have a quick word with the inspector?
Sorry, at the moment that is out of the question.
Perhaps the person in charge of the city surveillance camera would be available to talk to.
That would probably be Sergeant Paul. But Sergeant Paul is also very busy at the moment and has no time for such trifles as a missing cat.
Trifles? I guess you're not a big animal lover.
Nope, I'm allergic to anything that has hair. So, as I said before, Inspector Craddock is currently investigating an important case of vandalism at the Longbottom family estate. And it is quite simple that the real crime has priority with us, before any missing pets.
I understand. Vandalism at the Longbottom's estate. Is there anything known about it yet?
Are you seriously asking me that? I can't possibly pass on knowledge about the status of the investigation to uninvolved parties.
I'm not uninvolved.
Excuse me?
I mean, I'm not uninterested in the case. I am, well, also something of an amateur detective.
I bet you are. Still, why don't you leave the police work to the real police? And if you really have something to contribute to the case, you're welcome to make an appointment with the inspector for next week.
But it's really, really important that I talk to the inspector now.
Not a chance. As I said, we are all very, very busy here. Now please, don't waste any more of my time. I have important things to do.
All right. I will be back.
I bet you will.
The idea's not bad at all, but there must be hidden cameras all over the place. I'd hate to be caught attacking a police officer. No, it would be the wrong colour anyway. A badass cop like him certainly isn't afraid of a rubber spider.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? You have no business there. Get out of here.
Oops, that's not the door to the toilet. It wouldn't work like that. The anesthetic must be administered intravenously. Besides, I don't want to contaminate the delicious donuts. Maybe I'll still get hungry. Constable Smith doesn't look to me like someone who would really appreciate a nearly lifelike stuffed cat as a pet. Now I feel much safer. You never know if you ever meet a wild elephant. The idea's not bad at all. But there must be...
Yes, my friend. Is there...
That's all.
You again.
What were your motives? I said, well,
Now and
eBay.
yeah,
Oh,
and you again.
thank you.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes, please.
So what's the life of a butler like?
Well, I thank the gentleman for his interest in yours truly. In fact, few people know what a demanding profession is, the craft of a butler. Yes, I deliberately say craft and not profession. At 4:50 a.m. in the morning, my alarm clock rings, and I start to take care of the needs of the gentleman. 4:50 a.m., of course, only on days when I was allowed to sleep in. I then spend the morning doing some of the following: baking bread, fetching the newspaper, mopping the floor, doing the laundry, feeding the dogs, mowing the lawn, trimming the hedge, catching up on the latest gossip, cleaning the carpets, washing the windows, cleaning the brass and silverware, matching the clothes of the day for the lady and the lord, chasing away various sales representatives outside the gate, weeding the driveway, and pruning the roses, preparing a tasty and nutritious breakfast.
Woo! Sounds like a full day.
Day?
It is then 9:35 a.m. at the earliest. The day only begins then, and with it my tasks and the demands of the Longbottom family.
That sounds like a mammoth task.
Well, the life of a butler is certainly no bed of roses. But the family's trust in me honors me, of course.
Would it be an exaggeration to say that the family would be lost without your services?
Well, even though the gentleman obviously speaks the tongue of the common people, there is probably some truth to his statement. Yes, presumably, a resignation on my part would result in a great deal of chaos in the Longbottom household. Not that I would ever seriously think about quitting. No, because in addition to all my obligations, my quite abundant free time allows me to lead a full social life. Every night, between 23:57 p.m. and 3:45 a.m., I passionately preside over my online role-playing guild, the Bloody Tailcoats. A virtual, but not completely absurd fantasy world of a liberated butlerhood, which bravely liberates an enchanted land from evil knights and power-hungry kings.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
It is. I take my virtual task at least as seriously as my worldly tasks.
So the mistress of the house likes cats?
In fact, these furry monsters are her great passion, and my biggest annoyance, since the cat hair constantly blocks the mechanics of my vacuum cleaner. However, I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to call Lady Longbottom particularly fond of animals. Cats tend to be the vehicle of choice to excel by participating in cat shows across the country and showcasing their greatest breeding successes.
A pedigree cat breeding? I'd better not tell my boss Mary about that.
Of course, we are talking only about noble pedigree animals. The common street cat rabble has no business in the Longbottom house. The breeding line of the lady is famous throughout the country. For this reason, Lady Longbottom is also deeply upset by the loss of Lord Fumbleclaw. But for more details, the gentleman better talk directly to the lady.
With all the pictures on the wall, I would have actually expected more enthusiasm for chihuahuas than cats.
Chihuahuas are the fable of the master of the house, Lord Longbottom. He is, as they say, more of a dog person than a cat person. His little darling faithfully guards the gate of the estate. And when I think about it, I'm surprised that the gentleman is standing here in front of me now, at least unharmed and without bloody calves.
A guard chihuahua at the front gate? I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. Since the bell was apparently missing, I thought I could just enter the property.
Very strange. The estate is indeed quite extensive, and the legs of the chihuahua are frighteningly short. But why was the bell missing? We recently had a state-of-the-art video intercom system installed on the pillar of the gate.
I'm sorry. Judging by the hole in the pillar, some vandal probably stole it with brute force. And I suppose I'd better talk to the lady about Mr. Fumbleclaw right away.
Still, Lord Fumbleclaw. I kindly ask the gentleman to finally memorize that. The lady insists on it.
Lord Longbottom is really a real archaeologist?
I say, Lord Longbottom is one of the most famous archaeologists in the Native American field. He holds a permanent professorship in archaeology at the renowned Oxford University, and regular excavations and expeditions take him to South and North America. Lord Longbottom is, as they say, a real thoroughbred archaeologist, and this already in the third generation.
That sounds fascinating. Personally, I'm a bit of an amateur archaeologist myself, albeit primarily in my video games. I regularly lead expeditions to distant Egypt or Vikingen.
I am pretty sure there is no such thing as Vikingen.
Of course. Vikings had to come from somewhere, right? I think I'd better have this technical discussion with Lord Longbottom.
Please do not disturb the Lord with anything but an important matter. I am pretty sure he's currently engrossed in his studies again.
What exactly is Susie Longbottom working on?
Work? 11-year-olds do not work. However, to the best of my knowledge, she was given a fairly complex homework assignment on the field of biochemistry. A task for which her father brought her an expensive chemistry apparatus.
What exactly is the task? Maybe I can help. Biology and chemistry were my favourite subjects in school.
Unfortunately, I can only guess. To be honest, I'm not so sure anymore that Susie is really working on her homework assignment, as much as she gets into it. For weeks, she has been tinkering with some chemical formulation. For weeks? I mean, what homework takes that long? She constantly asks me to buy various other chemical reagents, and far into the night, acrid chemical smells emanate from her nursery.
What do her parents say about it?
Well, I'm afraid Lord and Lady Longbottom are not particularly receptive to concerns about that. I think they're primarily happy that Susie was able to get excited about something like this in the first place.
Well, it sounds like the child's a budding scientist. Parents can be proud of that.
On the surface, of course, the gentleman is right. But I'm afraid Mr. Snuggles sees it a little differently.
Mr. Snuggles?
Susie's hamster. Every morning I have to look into his fear-whitened eyes, and I'm afraid Susie's experiments are not good for his health in the long run.
Oh dear. So more mad scientist than scientist.
I do not presume to judge. But since the gentleman comes from the local animal shelter, it would probably be a good idea if the gentleman at least briefly looks at Mr. Snuggles' condition.
I will! Mr. Snuggles will not end up in a microwave in this game.
What do you mean?
That's all for now.
Good. And please keep your shoes clean when the gentleman walks around the property.
Mr. Snuggles would love to go a few rounds on this awesome hamster wheel. I better place the wheel somewhere stable beforehand.
The fluorine antimony acid concentration is still too low. I still need a little more.
No. Maybe have another idea. Mr. Snuggles would love to go a few... This doesn't need to be made up. Lipstick and makeup do not help here.
I'll go see if my...
No, Susie would notice that and steal a little child's beloved hamster. That being said, Susie has to turn him into a creepy monster for her first movie anyway. And who am I to stand in the way of science?
Feel a slight sensation of hunger. I'd better ask Ramstone for a snack.
I don't think the rubber spider would shock him much. He's certainly met every form of spider on his expeditions. The toy spider doesn't scare the toy cat. And I should stop playing with toys. So now the black monster became a brown monster. Ugh, I hate spiders. I don't think the rubber spider would shock. I'd better find a more delicate tool to get to grips with the electronic innards.